Hello everyone! How's it going? Can you guys hear me? Oh goodness man, I'm back from San Diego, fired up the computer. Just hoping everything's still working. You know how it goes around here. You can hear me? Okay, sweet. Good, well that's good. As you can see, we have a delightful array of Twitchcon bits and bobs to talk about this evening. So welcome everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. Been playing around with a new full camera layout too. Hold on. Let's push this button over here, see if this works. It works! Hello everyone. I thought we'd just go like full camera today because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Is this still working, this microphone? Is this working? You guys can see the monkey, right? Up there? That's a YouTube monkey, by the way. I went to the YouTube offices once when I was working, way before I was on YouTube. I was working in the music industry, and I went over to the head office of YouTube and they gave us a monkey. And I still have it over there. I actually named him on stream a long time ago. I don't know, anyone who was back in the streams of those days. Can you remember what the monkey's called? I think it might be Bernard. But it's unclear. Anyway, let's make this thing a little bit bigger. Welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Whew, man. It is good to be back. And look who's in chat with us. Pearl's here. Hey Pearl, what's up? Nice to see you got home safe and sound. As did everybody else. Hold on, this microphone is like moving around. Wait. Okay, there we go. We're good. Everything's good. Blanking on the monkey's name, JT. That's a shame. I thought you would be the one who could remember the monkey's name. It might have been Tim, actually. I think it might be Tim. Shall we just call it Tim? But listen here, people. I'm still like pretty jet lagged, okay? I woke up this morning at 3. Couldn't go back to sleep. So as you can see by the eyes, still a little bit on the tired side, but getting there. I think I'm going to try and get a good night's sleep tonight and we'll be back up and running tomorrow, hopefully. Yep, the brain is still in San Diego time, that's for sure. Old man, what's up? Nice to see you. Hello to everybody else who's coming in too. Seeing a bunch of regulars, lots of mods in the house. What's up, people? Nice to see you all. Guys, we have got so much to talk about today, okay? Take a look at this giant array of things. This is but a small selection of the things that I received from you wonderful people over at TwitchCon. And today, we're going to go through some of my favorite things, and we're going to open some presents. A lot of you guys gave me a bunch of magic presents. You guys are the absolute best. By the way, if you ever want to give me presents, just give me magic cards. I've been telling my family this for like 20 years. I don't want anything. I just want magic cards. That's it. I don't want anything. Just magic cards is good. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, there is so much here. It's not even, I couldn't even get everything on camera, actually. There's still like a bunch off camera here and stuff, but we're gonna talk about it all, and we're gonna crack some magic packs today. So it's gonna be a joyous occasion. Joyous indeed. So welcome everyone. Anyway, so we're back from TwitchCon. Guys, let me tell you what an incredible experience it was. One of the greatest experiences of my life as a YouTuber and a streamer. I'll never forget it. It was an event that reminded me of why I do this in the first place. So, TwitchCon. Wow, what an incredible experience. Now listen, there's many things to talk about the old TwitchCon. about the whole event. I'm going to try and talk a little bit mostly about my experience from the, beginning to the end. And it all started with a very long journey to get to Heathrow Airport so that we could fly over to San Diego. I live like pretty far out in a small town, so I usually drive to the airport when I fly. But my car is a diesel car from 2014, which is now very heavily taxed if I go anywhere near London. Like, I mean, London just knows. As soon as my car approaches London, boom, I get massive like emissions taxes and whatever. So I decided to take the train. It is a Golf Rare, yes. A very old Golf, but I love her with all my heart. She's awesome. So anyway, to get to the train station from my house is quite a long journey. I have to take a taxi to get there because the train station is quite far. So my trip to TwitchCon started with a taxi ride to the station, then a long wait for the train because it was delayed. Then the train all the way to another city was delayed. Then from that city, I had to get another train all the way to Reading, and then take the train from Reading to Heathrow. So it was about, I don't know, maybe like a 3 to 4 hour train journey, which was reasonably painful. However, I was excited because there were a bunch of people going to TwitchCon that were staying at the airport. I went the day before because our flight was in the morning. So I went and stayed in a hotel at Heathrow because the flight, it would have been a huge risk for me to try get to Heathrow in the morning with the trains. So I was staying in a hotel there, and there was a bunch of other people staying in Heathrow too. However, the first oopsie of the TwitchCon experience for Rendog occurred. Now, before I tell you about this, guys, I do want a caveat, okay? I'm generally a very good traveler. Super organized. I print everything out. I know exactly what I'm doing at all times. What trains to get. It's all scheduled. It's all like properly looked after. I pack with I write like a list of everything that I need to pack, and I usually like pack up everything perfectly. I usually pack my suitcases perfectly and whatnot. But a couple of things went wrong on this particular journey in the traveling department. First thing that went wrong is that I booked myself into the wrong hotel. For some reason, when I booked the hotel at Heathrow, I thought we were flying from Terminal 2. Well, actually, I booked the hotel a long time ago. And when I did book it, the flight to San Diego did say from Terminal 2. So I guess it's not like a big oopsie, but it's an oopsie nonetheless. Because, of course, my fellow hermits were, and other travelers were, of course, at the correct hotel, which was the Terminal 5 hotel. And the Terminal 5 hotel is like 40 minutes from the Terminal 2 hotel. And so even though I had a terrible train journey, I was hoping to be able to hang out with some people that evening. But alas, I went to the hotel restaurant on my own and had a meal all on my own, while being mercifully mocked on Discord for not having been in the correct hotel. So that was, a joy. However, met up with everybody the next day in the morning, and we all got on the flight, and the flight went really well. Nice to have a bunch of people on the flight that you can go chat with and stuff. So yes, anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so we all gathered in the morning and got onto the plane, and the flight to San Diego was great because there was a lot of people to hang out with and to talk to and whatnot. So the flight went really fast. Trouble was the flight was a daytime flight, so we actually didn't get a chance to sleep at all. And when we got to San Diego, it was still daytime because we were going like backwards, in time, so to speak. So when we got to San Diego, we were the jet lag brains were starting to kick in, and we were walking to the hotel from the airport. Well, we took a taxi from the airport to get to the convention center and to the hotels. And once we'd unpacked our stuff in the rooms, we all went for a walk to check things out. And lo and behold, because my brain was a complete mess, and starting to wonder why I wasn't sleeping. Also, by the way, just to caveat this particular story, I think I've only ever been recognized in England like twice in the 15 years that I've been doing this. I like never get recognized in England. So I'm really not used to people, calling my name or recognizing me in public. You know what I mean? And a couple of us were walking by the convention center, and somebody like called our name or called my name out. And I just walked straight past them, dudes. Stone cold. So embarrassing. Because I just didn't compute. It just didn't go into the brain, you know? And people were like, dude, they called your name. They called your name. And then I turned around and I was like, oh, hey, what's up? What's up? And this was the first moment that I realized that TwitchCon was going to be wild. It's going to be absolutely crazy. And it was wonderful. It was a wonderful moment. I was suddenly transported into the moment. I was like, oh, we're at TwitchCon. There are people here that are going to want to talk to us and are going to recognize us. This is so awesome. Anyway, that first night was pretty cool. We went out for dinner, I believe. It's like all a bit of a haze right now, you know? But I think a bunch of us went for dinner. Most of the Hermitcraft crew and a bunch of the other crews, you know, like the Vampires crews and the Power Creations crews. Everyone was people that were there. And then we went to the hotel to try and get some rest, because the next day was first day of TwitchCon. It was the Friday. We landed on the Thursday, I think. We landed the day before, just to try get a little bit of rest before everything kicked off. And, I mean, I didn't sleep at all. I slept like a little bit, I guess, but definitely not as much as I could have. But I was so excited. I couldn't wait to like get into the convention the next day. We had a lot of stuff that we had to like sort out. We all had to gather, you know, in the back, in the green rooms or whatever, to like work out what we're going to do and figure out the schedule. And we wanted to get together, the Hermits wanted to get together to discuss the panel, you know. We've been working on the panel together on Discord for quite a while, but we needed to get together IRL and sort of go through the panel, like a dry run through the panel, you know. So that's what we did on Friday morning. And if I'm not mistaken, the panel was on Friday, wasn't it? Yes. It was at like 2 p.m. or something. I can't really remember exactly the timings of everything. But I think it was. Yeah, the panel was on Friday. Okay, good. So, by the way, most of us, like most of the non-Americans on the panel, like we'd hardly slept. Our brains were still cooked. You know, we just got off the plane like the previous day. So, it was wild, man. It was crazy. I definitely didn't know what to expect, though. And when we got up onto that stage, I was completely overwhelmed with the awesomeness of what I was seeing. But before we get into the panel, we need to talk about the second oopsie of the journey. Let's return to the table, shall we? Oh, actually, I can just reach and get it here. So, you may have seen this belt on the table. Now, this belt, for some reason, says jeans on it. And it is a super budget, cheap-ass belt that took me an incredibly long time to find. As I was mentioning earlier on, I'm generally a very organized traveler. But for some reason, this trip, I forgot to put my real belt on. Like I'm a belt guy. I love belts, right? I got some really nice belts. But for some reason, I didn't put the stinking belt on. So when I got to San Diego, I didn't have a belt. Also, by the way, I fly in my pajamas, so I didn't even realize that, like, I didn't have my belt on the plane, you know, because I could have got a belt at the airport. But so before the panel, I was like, man, I need a belt, or my jeans are gonna fall down. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is insane. You can't have the jeans hanging halfway down the butts. You know, it's outrageous. And I was like, well, I could easily find a belt in San Diego, surely, right? No. to find this belt, which was like $30 or something. Super cheap. Says genuine leather on it. Definitely not genuine leather. I had to walk miles away from the convention center. Although there's like this little market that's next to the convention center. It's called the Seaside Market or something. And I went into like every single shop in that Seaside Market. They're like all clothing shops. But for some reason, 99% of them didn't have belts. I was like, what the heck, man? Do people not wear belts in San Diego? Like, what's going on? This is outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. So I was walking through this market, desperately trying to find a freaking belt. And eventually I found one in like one of the shops on the outskirts of this market. And I mean, it really, I mean, you can see that it was heavily worn during this convention. Some damage was done via my waist to this belt. And it did a good job. But that was the second oopsie. So I was in a bit of a panic to find the belt. And I believe this was on the Thursday when everybody else was getting together to like have fun. I was going out to find a belt so that my trousers wouldn't fall down in the panel the next day. Have I missed anything else? Let me have a look. No, I think we're good. Yeah. So anyway, after getting the belt sorted out, you know, you got priorities here, friends, priorities. We went to the panel the next day. And I mean, this was my first ever panel, right? I've never been on like a live panel like this before. The only other panel that I've been on is Minecon Live a few years ago in Boston. But that was like in a studio with cameras and like a director. And that was like that was a wild experience too, one that I'll never forget. But I've never been in front of like a massive crowd. And guys, if you were in that panel, thank you for coming and being so awesome. I mean, that room was packed to the back. Every seat, people standing in the back. I mean, it was crazy. What I've come to realize is that TwitchCon has no idea how big Hermitcraft is. I think TwitchCon thinks Hermitcraft is just like a little Minecraft thing or whatever with some fans and whatnot. No. Hermitcraft was the biggest thing at TwitchCon. Like, crowd-wise. It was insane. And that panel was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I mean, I was treasuring every single moment of being on that stage, you know? You never know what happens in life. I might never end up on a stage like that again. And I just couldn't believe how awesome it was. Like, the vibes coming from the crowd, I can't use English to describe it. I just felt it in my heart, you know? Like, it was wonderful. A moment that I will never, ever forget. I'm so proud of my fellow Hermits. They did such a great job on the panel. And I mean, the panel went by in a flash. I don't even remember it. I hope it was good. We got Scar. Speaking of the panel, Scar's chilling with us. We had the biggest panel of the year, says Scar. I mean, easily the biggest panel of the year. Easily the biggest audience, the biggest crowds, the biggest meet and greets. I mean, Hermitcraft won MCC Rivals. Hermitcraft not only won MCC Rivals, but we were winning the first 3 games of MCC Rivals. Hermitcraft dominating the start of Rivals and then winning the Rivals. I mean, Hermitcraft couldn't have been bigger at TwitchCon. So proud of all of my fellow Hermits and all of you amazing fans for turning out and flying the Hermitcraft flag so brilliantly. Speaking of which, you guys were amazing. There were a lot of issues with TwitchCon, as you guys probably at this point know. I think a lot of Hermits have been talking about it. Lots of accessibility issues and, you know, things going wrong with the crowds and whatnot. But as far as you guys who were there, you were amazing. Speaking of winning the MCC Rivals, Fruitberries is here with us today. Hey, Fruit, what's up, my friend? The honorary Hermit. Indeed. Fruit, that night you were a Hermit, my friend. We just dominated Rivals from start to finish with the fruit in the bowl. Beautiful. You love to see it. Oh man, awesome. But yeah, anyway, guys, you guys were so great. You guys were so. Oh man, I don't know how to explain myself correctly. Let me try and find some words. You know what? I'll do this by telling a story. Okay. So on Friday after the panel, a bunch of us went down to the Minecraft booth on the main floor. And we wanted to go and say hello to Anthony and some of the other Minecraft and Mojang people that we know. And we just wanted to go check it out, right? And I think it was like me, False, Cub, Impulse, Skiz, Tango, Scar was there too. I think most of us were there. And we weren't like expecting anything at this point because we hadn't yet seen the insanity that was to unfold over the next few days with regards to the meeting and greeting situation. But when we got to the Minecraft booth, we were talking to Anthony and having a look at some of the anti-social social club merch that they had there. And suddenly, queues were just forming. I mean, I thought we were in England. You guys formed such orderly and patient queues to meet us that it actually blew my mind, right? There were no barriers there. There were no like security to like guide people to meet people or whatever. Like you guys it could have very easily just been a swarm, you know? But for each hermit that was standing in like different parts of the Minecraft booth, these orderly queues kind of formed and snaked their way through the other booths. And people must have looked over at the Minecon booth and just been like, what is happening here, man? Like, what is going on? Because they were just queues, like snakes leading away from the Minecraft booth. And you guys were incredible. You were so patient. And we meted and greeted you guys at the Minecraft booth for, I think, 5 hours. We got there after the panel, and we stayed there until they told us to leave. And let me tell you something, dudes. The light level in that room must have been like at 0 because you guys were just spawning. Like we would meet and greet somebody, and they would move on, and then another person would spawn at the back of the queue. You know what I'm saying? Light level 0, dudes. It was crazy. It was absolutely mad. It was amazing, and it was this session of impromptu meeting and greeting that really made me realize what was happening at TwitchCon and how the entire Hermitcraft world was coming together in one place. Not the entire, but you know, a huge amount of Hermitcraft people were coming together and showing people how it's done. Also, I'm so proud of you guys. You know, I'm so proud of you. No issues with the Hermitcraft crowds anywhere. I haven't heard a single complaint about any Hermitcraft fan at TwitchCon. Has anybody else? Isn't that amazing? I don't even know how many people I met. I think maybe I met 2,000 people. It feels like that. I have no idea. But it was such a beautiful representation of what the Hermitcraft global community is. And you guys are awesome. You know, just so much love to you all. Making me emotional thinking about it, man. Hold on, I need to air out over here. We got a raid from Cam over here. Hey Cam, what's up, my friend? Got to spend a bunch of quality time with my good friend Cam over in San Diego too. And every time I spend time with Cam, I love the man a little bit more. You know, he's such a legend. He's so great. Anyway, at that first meet and greet, I started to receive some of these wonderful gifts. This is but a small selection of the things that I was given over the course of the weekend. We're going to be having a closer look at some of these in a moment. But I do want to say a very big thank you to you all for your generosity and your kindness and your wonderful letters and your artworks and your amazing words. It's been so great. Oh, wait, is Oli here too? Hey Oli, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Oh man, got to spend some quality time with my main man Oli also. Although, I must apologize to Oli because I did promise him that he could teach me how to play Pokemon, but we never got a moment. But Oli, soon, we're going to be playing Pokemon, you and me, sir. And it's going to be fantastic. Oli really did try. Oli carried around like 2 Pokemon decks for like 2 days, waiting for me to come over to him. You know what, Oli, though? I'm going to blame the Hermitcraft crowd, okay? I think we worked out that we meted and greeted people for like close to 16 hours in total. Like, every single day in the convention was just spending time with the fans the whole day. And by the end of the day, I mean, I was exhausted. Like, not sleeping properly, meeting tons and tons of people, doing all the awesome things. And, you know, getting back to the hotel at like 9 p.m., 10 p.m., my brain was just not in a place to learn how to play a complex TCG, you know? But we will play, and it's going to be awesome, Oli, soon. Anyway, so what day are we on? Oh, yeah, so that was the Friday. The panel day was awesome. Saturday was like the official meet and greet, Hermitcraft meet and greet thing at the convention. And, well, I gotta say, man, the size of the meet and greet line was actually phenomenal. I mean, I think like the people at TwitchCon at that moment suddenly realized, you know, this is crazy. Like, there are so many people here for Hermitcraft. And I know that some of you guys were in that queue for like 4 hours or something. And I know that it was very uncomfortable, and there was a whole bunch of stuff that like went wrong. The positive thing out of all of this is that I think and I hope that Twitch got the message. That when Hermitcraft comes to your party, you better make space. And you better make a plan. Because it's only going to get bigger. And I think if such a thing would occur again, Hermitcraft needs to be given all 3 meet and greet lines on one day. That's the only way that we can get through everybody in a timely fashion. There's just so many people. Just the logistics are like insane. And we literally just need like, they need to give us our own warehouse basically. And this is just like the Hermitcraft area. I think like it's gonna have to be that way in order to get everybody through. And I know that a bunch of you guys had like a couple of rough experiences and whatnot. I just want to say though, right? Like, bear in mind, the Twitch, some of the Twitch staff they had your best intentions at heart. They maybe didn't act correctly, but their goal was to try and get every single one of you guys to meet us. So their hearts were in the right place. The execution was just maybe a little bit off, you know? And that's a shame. That's a shame. Look, this is like 2 years in a row now that this sort of thing has happened. So, I mean, it really, the message must have been received at this point. Surely, right? Surely. I mean, it's been all over social media like crazy. And, you know, I think a lot of people have been talking about it and whatnot. And Scar just said in chat that he has actually spoken to them and they've learned a lot, you know? I think it's important that we do talk to them, right? Like, it might be like a little bit arrogant of us to assume that TwitchCon knows about Hermitcraft. They, you know, to organize a convention like that, of that size, imagine the logistics required, right? It is a massive undertaking, okay? And Hermitcraft is just one of the many, many, many things that need to be organized at TwitchCon. And so, I'm not making excuses for TwitchCon. I'm just saying that I think if we're able to communicate more clearly with them, if we even have like a direct line to somebody who organizes TwitchCon, I think like Twitch and TwitchCon are probably managed by 2 different teams or whatever. They're probably, you know, separate entities or whatever. But I think with just a little bit of communication from Hermitcraft to whoever's setting up the next TwitchCon, I think we can make a big difference, you know? Because we can use the numbers from this year to give them a really good idea about what next year is going to look like and how they need to be prepared. Because it ain't going to get smaller, you know? Like, if anything, it's going to get bigger because there's so much FOMO around. You guys, there are a lot of you guys who didn't go. You wish that you were there and maybe you come next time, right? So, like, it's just going to get bigger. So, yeah, Pearl had a migraine in the morning and it triggered to at a larger point. Yeah, it did, Pearl. It was the lights, I think, that got Pearl. I mean, the lights in some of those, in some of the areas were just crazy. I mean, during MCC Rivals, it looked, I was watching False's stream yesterday and I think someone in a chat said it looked like we were all ascending or whatever. You know, like when you go up to the heavens or whatever. all the hermits were going into ethereal mode at some point, man. It was crazy. I looked back at some of the footage, man. It looked like my head was on fire, dudes. Like, it looked like I was going Super Saiyan. You know, I got this, like, big hair, and with the lights, like, blaring, I literally went Super Saiyan, dudes. I went all Goku up in there, man. Yes. Yeah, the rapture. The rapture was coming. Oh, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. By the way, hello to all my friends in chat, all the hermits and all of the other peeps. Thanks for coming to hang out with me on my stream. Appreciate you guys. I don't usually do the camera thing, but, you know, I was on camera quite a lot on TwitchCon, so I'm trying to get used to the camera a little bit more. You know what somebody told me? In the meet and greet, like after, we met a few people like after Rivals, and somebody was telling me that they put my freaking face on the big screen like 30 times? Dudes, like, surely consent required to put one's face on the big screen. Nobody asked me if it was okay to put my face on the big screen. What the heck? And by the way, the camera was like here. Like, we were winning, right? Our team was winning the first like 3 events. And we won like Meltdown. And then we won the next one or whatever, and then on the third one, like, all the cameras came in, you know, in the arena. And I was like, oh my goodness. I was so nervous. When that camera arrived, I tilted, dudes. Not gonna lie. I think the camera was like right in my face during Ace Race, and it honestly tilted me. I couldn't like stop thinking about the camera, because I mean, it was right here. It was right here. Anyway, I'm jumping ahead. So yes, the meet and greet on the Friday was awesome. The meet and greet on Saturday was, it was what it was, but it was really, really amazing to meet you all. And thank you all for all of the incredible stuff that you gave us, and you know, we did our best to try and talk to you guys as much as we could. But we were also aware that we needed to try and get the line moving so that we could talk to everybody, you know. Cam says, I think we consent to show our face in the form that we signed ahead of MCC. Oh, yes. Yeah, true. True, true. No, look, I signed the face away, Cam. What can I, you know, it is what it is. But, like, the face, you know, was huge. That screen was huge. Anyway, I got, you know what? I'm gonna start showing you guys some of these cool things that I got from the meet and greets, and then we'll talk about Rivals in a little bit. Let's have a look. So I'm gonna start with this one over here. This was one of the first gifts that I received. And this was from Commissar and Lady Meow. And it was this really cool, like, little Minecraft pouch. And inside the Minecraft pouch was obviously a Magic the Gathering Planeswalker. A Johnny. And some really cool... I keep bumping this mic. I'm so bad at this camera stuff, man. A bunch of really cool Magic the Gathering coasters. Look at that. Like all the different mana symbols in Magic. So cool. So, so cool. On top of that, though, Lady and Commissar gave me a very, very generous gift, which I'm hoping to get to tonight. We'll see how time goes. But let's go to the table real quick. They were also super generous and gave me... Let's just move these for a second. this booster box of Edge of Eternities, which is one of my favorite sets in the last few years. And it's a whole bunch of boosters, which I'm hoping to open. And they also gave me a bunch of other boosters also, which I'm hoping to open too. So really super generous. And a big thank you to both of them for their generosity. Thank you very, very much. And hoping to get into some of those wonderful packs in a second. But as far as some of the prezzies, I have so many. Like, so many prezzies. False is here with us. Hey, False, what's up? So many prezzies. I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff. You know, my favorite stuff to receive, I was looking through it today to choose what I was going to show you guys. And by far my favorite things that you guys gave me were the handmade stuff. You know, the handmade stuff is so great. Like, the handmade art is so cool. And check this out. Like, somebody made me this really cool, like, bracelet thing. Or it's like a keyring with this, like, really cool Ren thing with a creeper face on it. It's in this, like, sealed thing, you know? So it's kind of like a booster pack, you know? And I just think it's really cute. I love it so much. That's so cool. Really, really cool. Also... Oh, wait. Did I bring the really... I think I might have left a really cool thing downstairs. Oh, I gotta go get that at some point. But I think False showed this on her stream yesterday. But check this out. Somebody made little Christmas baubles of all the Hermits. And this is my one. Holding an emerald, right? King Ren from Season 9 with the old emerald. And it's super cool. I'm going to be taking this to South Africa and hanging it on the Christmas tree in December when I'm with my family. So, really, really cool. Absolutely adorable. Love that. Let's see. What else did I get? I got a ton of these things. Like, I don't actually know what this is. But this is like some sort of like a plastic thing that you like melt or something. Like, you put the little dots together and then you use an iron or something, right? To like melt it together. But like, how cool is that? Like, it's so big. Like, check how big this thing is, dudes. That's so cool. Hammer beads, that's it, right? Hammer beads. Water Munchie is here. What's up, Munchikins? It's cool, right? I didn't even know what these things were until someone explained it to me. I just love this one. It's so, like, well made. Do you know what I mean? Like look at the diamond glasses and like even the Gigabug. I've even got like the belt and everything. It's just like a perfect rendition of my skin. It's so cool. Love that. Love that. That's so cool. I'm glad that made it back in one piece too. What else did I get? Ah, yes. Somebody like knitted a bunch of these snails. Which is really, really cool. There's a little Ren Dog snail with the little eyeballs. Little key ring thing. Really cool. Love that. And also got like a bunch of really cool like key rings and stuff. There's like a little Ren Dog key ring. Which I really like. Like, I don't even know how like this is made. But really, really sweet. It's got like a really cool smile on it and stuff. I like that. Got a bunch of stuff from like the other SMPs that I'm into. Some vampire stuff. Check this out. My SMP sucks. With some fangs at the bottom. How cool is that? Love that. And look at this. This is a great one. Somebody made a pin that just says, "Don't you know?" With a little bat on it. So whoever made these for me, that's so cool. Thank you, thank you. Love those. Lots of like clay work too. Look at this one. Check out this little snail. Like with the eyeballs popping up above the glasses. Oh, I love it. It's so cool. It also survived. Like, this is clay, right? So that survived. Also, like, a bunch of people made me some really cool stickers. Check out this one. It's like the Ren the King's, like, attire with, like, Ren Dog's lumberjack stuff. Really cool little sticker. And I got turned into a vampire at one of my meet and greets. Somebody gave this to me and I was like, no, Scott got me. Scott got me. I've been turned. Really cool. Really cool. Also, I want to give a big shout out to all of my other friends from outside the Hermitcraft universe. Been spending a bunch of time this year in doing PAL creation stuff with vampires and with rats, SMP, and also, of course, with misadventures outside of PAL. And one night we went to, I think, I can't actually remember which night this was. Was this the last night? I can't remember. But anyway, we all got into this like photo booth. All the vampires crew, the vampires cast. And we took this really cool photo. I think you guys have probably seen this on social media before. But here's like the real version. And I met so many of these people for the first time in San Diego. Meeting Owen was awesome. Meeting Lagundo and Pyro also, and Shubs. It was just so cool. So cool to meet like the people that I'm actually like working with, you know, on vampires. And by the way, they're all amazing. Like every single one of these people, insane. Like they're so great. Also got to meet Cherry Fire. Also, shout out to Cherry. Who else did we meet? Oh, I met so many guys. I met so many people. But anyway, I loved that. That was so great meeting them. Oh, and Apo, obviously. It was so awesome meeting Apo. And, man. I'm like dropping the ball here. I can't remember everybody that I met. But I met loads of people. I met loads of people, okay? I met loads of people. So yeah, that was just like some of the great gifts that I received during the meet and greets. Alongside like, and this is also like one of my favorite things that you guys gave me. Also that I really loved, really loved. Yeah, I met Abolish too. Yeah, Abolish is so awesome. They're all so awesome. Lagundo is so awesome. They are, man. Vampire cast, awesome. But yeah, here's just like a very small selection of some of the letters that you guys wrote to me. And you know, of all the things that I was gifted, these are some of my favorites. You know, I'm like an old school guy, you know what I'm saying? I like a letter. I like pen to paper because it takes a certain amount of effort to do. And I think there's honor in writing a letter. And there's so many kind words in here. I'm not going to read them because they're private, but so many kind words and kind stories. People talking about, you know, the impact that me or Hermitcraft has had on their lives in these letters. And it's this sort of human touch that really like reminds me that what I'm doing has value. And whenever I, you know, worry about views or anything like that, it's this that reminds me that what we're doing is way more important than views and things like that. We're actually making an impact on people's lives. And that's why I started doing this all in the first place. And this entire trip to San Diego was a big reminder to me, you know, of why I gave up a real job to do this. Because the only thing that has ever really like hit me in my soul is when my work does something to somebody else in a positive way. So thank you to everybody who wrote me a wonderful letter. Really appreciated them all. It was so lovely to receive them. And I'm very appreciative of the time that you took to write. And, you know, the thing is, you know, dudes, writing a letter is like, it's hard. Like, listen, if you've never written a letter in your life, try write a letter. If you're going to write like a 3 or 4 page letter, you can't make a mistake, right? If you're writing like a letter to someone that you care about or whatever, You don't want to have like errors where you have to like scratch out words. I mean, when I write, like when I've written letters to people and I'm halfway down the page and I write like a wrong word, you start again. You scrap the page, you start again. Writing a letter is like a proper human endeavor, you know? And it means something. You know, writing an email or whatever, it's also fine. But there's just something about a letter that makes it matter, you know? And so thank you guys. Thank you for the letters. I really appreciate it. I really loved them. They were awesome. Now, one of my favorite things that I received at TwitchCon, which came as such an amazing surprise. I was so incredibly blown away by this. But for those of you guys who don't know, this year, a bunch of fan artists for me came together to put together a zine. I was not like really sure. I didn't really know what a zine was. I'm old, okay? I don't know what like this new lingo is in the internet. Like, what is a zine? I don't know. I guess it's like a magazine, but like it's a digital magazine, right? I'm like, I think there's like a Hermitzine thing and like zines for lots of things. But this year, the Ren Dog artists came together and they put together a RenZine, and we actually reviewed it on my birthday. And it was awesome. And there's like so many people, there's so much like fan writing in the zine that I couldn't read it all on my birthday. Because like there's stories in the zine, right? It's not just art. It's like also fan fiction. And so look at what the wonderful people made for me, guys. Physical version of the RenZine. Is this not just the most awesome thing ever? Like, how cool is this? And using this, I've been able to like read some of the fanfic now, and I'm slowly but surely reading all of the fanfic. But guys, it's printed so brilliantly too. It's not like, this isn't like a cheap printed thing. This is like a properly printed magazine, I guess. Like, it's super high quality and it's absolutely awesome. Every now and then also there's like, I think it's some people, like some of them have written to me also in the zine, like with, you know, with pen, they've like written me notes and stuff inside too. And it's just, this is so awesome. Like, I don't even have any words to describe how cool this is. Like, this is the most awesome thing. So a huge thank you to the wonderful artists who put the RenZine together, and then for the amazing human being that took the time to actually get this made. Because this couldn't, you know, this is not something you just like upload and then it gets printed and created. Like, this must have taken some effort to put together. And I love it. One of my favorite things. That's so cool. Speaking of cool, by the way, we're making our way through this table. Hold on. Let me do some clear up here, friends. Okay, the table's getting a little bit of a disaster here. Guys, we need a name for the monkey, by the way. This monkey like actually has a name, but I've forgotten what it is. So we need a name by the end of the stream for the monkey. Get thinking. Get some ideas cooking, friends. What are we calling the monkey? Bang Bongele, wrote your final Afrikaans exam today. Lekker, ne? Was het goed? Mr. Egg? Colin? I do like Colin's pretty good. Colin the monkey. Oh my goodness. Jonathan. Dit was baie lekker. Mooi. Mooi. Now, speaking of cool things, hold on, let's have a quick look at the table. So, we're making our way through the things. I think this was another letter. Let's get rid of that one also. We got a few more things to talk about here. This, I think we talk about this next. And then we'll talk about some of these wonderful Magic the Gathering presents. And we're going to crack open some boosters soon. But we're slowly but surely making our way through here. Before we get to any more stuff, though, I do want to talk about MCC Rivals. Because One of the most insane experiences of my entire life. I mean, I will never ever forget that moment. I know like a bunch of the people at MCC have like done it before and stuff, but this was my first. And I had no idea what to expect. And when we first like walked out to our places and I looked up at the crowd and the production, the cameras and the screens, and like you look this way and it's just booths of players, and then you look that way and it's just booths of players. And everybody's computers set up, like the logistics to make this happen just absolutely blew my mind. Not only that, like the crowd was unbelievable. I think False was talking about it in a stream yesterday, but like when they were doing some of the cinematics, because like the whole thing had like a storyline behind it. When some of the cinematics were coming up, that whole room was like rumbling, was shaken, dudes. It was crazy. But it also was shaken when the crowd went wild throughout the event, you know? Even with those like massive headphones on and super loud audio in the arena. When you're playing, like I remember during Meltdown, when we were doing really good, you could hear the people screaming like through all the noise. And it was absolutely wild. The most wild thing is that when we went into that event, right? Me, False, Impulse, and Owen, we're like, guys, let's be realistic here, okay? We're the underdogs. We're here for the vibes. As long as we're not last, we're happy. Like, these were the discussions happening in our team, you know? We were like, look, this is going to be this is a team of vibes right here. You know what I'm saying? If we somehow, by some miracle, get to Dodgeball, awesome. But if not, this is just going to be such an awesome, vibey team. And then we decided to like try and pick the games that we thought we were really bad at first, so that we wouldn't lose like point. You know, we'd lose less points by getting those games out the way. So we're like, you know what, Meltdown, we're probably bad at that. Let's do that first. I think Meltdown was first, right? And then 10 minutes later, 3 rounds of Meltdown later, we won the freaking thing. And I remember looking over at Owen, and we caught each other's eyes, and we were like, something's happening here. This is not going how we thought this was going to go. Then the next game rolls around. I can't remember what it was, because it's just a blur. What was the next game? What was after Meltdown? Was it Railroad Rush? Next, I think, right? I can't remember. I think it was Railroad Rush, right? Yeah, it was Rush next. False is like super good at that game. And she helped us like figure out a really great strategy, and Owen was a great leader. I mean, Owen is an amazing leader, by the way. He's like an incredible leader of an MCC team. He's so good. But then I think we came third in Railroad Rush, right? And that kept us at the top. And then we were like, the team was just in shock. We were like leading the entire event after 2 games. And then all the cameras came in, you know? And the commentators started to talk about us, you know? Like suddenly we were like the focus of the entire event, because we were the underdogs. We were like the worst team, you know? And suddenly we were winning. Hermitcraft dominating game 1 and 2. It was so epic. Like it was just so amazing. And we took a screenshot of us on our green pillar when we were number 1. Because we knew in our hearts that like we weren't going to be number 1 to the end, you know? So we needed to get that moment where we were number 1 in MCC Rivals just to capture it, you know? And then unfortunately survival games came around and just absolutely wrecked us. Survival games like split the pack so much. Like the point differential between the top 4 teams and the bottom 6 teams after survival games was insane. It was like 3,000 points or something. And at some point, yeah, I was like 3rd in the entire event. I was on the, I've never been in the top 10, like, where all the little things stand in the Hall of Fame. I don't think I've ever been up there before. And I was like 3rd. I was like, what's happening? It was so amazing. And like the crowd was just going absolutely insane when this was happening. Rada says, you guys look so cool when we walked out. Yeah, we did it, like, we figured out our team pose, like, I don't know, 20 seconds before we went out. We were like, what are we doing? Like, we were literally walking to the point where we had to go out, trying to figure out what we were going to do. And I think Impulse was like, just go out like you're going to dominate or something like that, And then False and I like did a practice lean, and Owen and Impulse did like this, or I don't even know what they did. And then we went out and just like, I don't know, just all came together quite nicely. It looked like, when I looked at the footage back, it looked like we'd coordinated it, or we'd practiced it, like it was choreographed. No. Not choreographed. We figured that out like literally 20 seconds before we went on stage. Crazy. Yeah, Impulse was Impulse with the sassy pose. He did that little like sass pose. It was awesome. And Owen just looks so like cool. But Owen's a super handsome dude, so easy for him to look awesome. But yeah, what an incredible experience that was. I will never forget it. My entire family watched. I sent them a link, and all of my family was watching. I spoke to my mum today and my dad, and they were watching the event. They watched the whole thing. And it was so nice to have like everybody having our backs, everybody watching, everybody rooting for the underdog. I mean, we didn't come last. We got our goal. In fact, I think we even, like, on the plane, I think we predicted we were going to be 7th. And I think we ended up being 7th. So we hit our goal in the end. Like, we actually nailed it. I think 7th was pretty good. Considering the field, like, man, some of those teams were insane. I think we did pretty, I'd take 7th every day of the week. And I wasn't last in the standings, and that's great. I was 34 or something. I'm usually 33 or 34, so. But yeah, geez, man. Let's talk about like dodgeball. My goodness, what an insane. That's got to be one of the most insane dodgeballs in the history of MCC. I think rivaled only by the reverse sweep of Blue Bat's MCC9. Never forget. Never forget. Blue Bat's MCC9 reverse sweep, okay? Just saying. But this one was kind of like a reverse sweep, right? Because the Hermits, like, dominated. The Hermits plus Fruit, but, like, Fruit is an honorary Hermit in this event. Look, Fruit's, like, Fruit Berry Hermit for that rivals. So I'm just going to refer to that team as the Hermits, right? Hermits went into Dodgeball 1-0. Super quick. 2-0. Super quick. And I remember in our team talk, we were like, oh, geez, this is going to be over pretty quick, right? Just pure domination. Then Purple turned it around. Game 3, 2-1. Game 4, 2-2. Suddenly, there was this insane vibe in the crowd that I could never explain. You had to have been there, to feel it. But there was that whole place, like, crunched up, dudes. Metaphorically speaking, every single person in that room, just like, people couldn't believe what was happening. They couldn't believe it. And then Purple came back so strong. It was almost another reverse sweep. And suddenly it's Green versus 2. And I remember Green was sitting like over there. And I remember looking over because I saw his character like had stopped moving. And I remember looking over and Green had taken his hand off the keyboard. And I spoke to him afterwards and he was like, in this moment, he was freaking out. He needed a moment to like breathe, And for the first time in the entire event, that room went real quiet. I don't know how many people were in that arena, maybe 2,000 or whatever, I don't know. But it was like you could hear a pin drop in there, man. People, it just went deathly quiet. Because this was Hermitcraft's last chance, right? To take the entire event. And I don't know where Grian reached in deep. I don't know where he got the strength. If it was me, I probably would have just passed out and got medevaced out of that place. But he just like locked in, picked up the arrows, boom, boom. And that place erupted in a way that I can never explain. People jumped out of their chairs. That whole like TwitchCon convention center like bounced with that. And the screams, like the collective screams of the audience and the Hermits and I think everybody in the event just screamed, all competitors. It was just like the most insane moment ever. It was awesome. Hermitcraft started winning and Hermitcraft ended winning. Let it be known. Pure Hermitcraft domination at TwitchCon. You love to see it. You really do. Yeah, and then he went to shake the hands of the Purple Pandas too. Of course. Pure gentleman. It was super awesome. Big thank you to Minecraft also for giving the Hermits that wonderful award. That was very kind. And that was a great moment too, coming out onto the stage and reliving some of the the great work that we did this year with Gamers Outreach. Oh man, what a great time that was. That was so cool. So yeah, as far as experiences go, Rivals was... there's very few times in my life that I've experienced something like that, let me tell you. And that was one of them. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. We were absolutely exhausted after that. But I think we did spend a little bit more time meeting people. As much as we could. But we needed to like go and just deflate, you know? Just like go and decompress after this insane weekend. I don't know, like any of the peeps who were there, like the Hermits or the friends of Hermits, that weekend like evaporated, did it not? Like it went in a flash. Like those 3 days, they started and then it was all over. Just poof, gone. I don't know what happened. It was mad. Yeah. Anyway, more gifts. More gifts. So, well, where are we in the sequence of the entire affair? We've finished MCC Rivals. That's it. And next up, the Hermits headed off to spend another few days together in San Diego. And it was a most wonderful, magical time with friends. And this is the second time now that I've managed to hang out with my fellow Hermits IRL for a little bit. And it was really, really awesome. We spent a bit of time talking about Season 11 ideas. And for the most part, we were just like decompressing from Season 10. Enjoying each other's company. Getting to know each other a little bit better. And it was really great. It was a really, really great time. My brother Jono came to visit also, which was amazing. Drove all the way from LA to come and hang out with us for a day. And he got to meet a bunch of the Hermits, of course, that were there. And it was really great to see him. Him and I just hung out like for ages, just chatting, catching up. And he spent a bit of time talking to the Hermits too. And it was great to have him over at the house. That was really great. But before we talk about this candle of things, I want to talk about EggGate. Because it has come to my attention that my egg transporting abilities have been put into question. Let me catch you up on what happened. So, on the Monday, I think, we were all heading over to the house, and some of the hermits were busy. They were doing stuff. And I don't know what they were like traveling or something. I don't know what was going on. But False and I decided, let's just get a head start, head to Target, and get some food ready. I mean, look, I will admit to you, friends, that I eat an outrageous amount of eggs and broccoli. Okay? Look, I'm not going to spend any time explaining why. But broccoli and eggs, prime ingredients in the Rain Dog diet. I have these things every single morning, without fail. Eggs, butter, broccoli, that's my breakfast. And up until we went to the house, I was not able to have my breakfast. Went for breakfast a couple times in the hotel, right? But, I mean, guys, food in America is wild. Okay, wild. The first breakfast that I had in the hotel, I just wanted like an omelet. There was no broccoli on the menu, obviously. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'll just get an omelet, right? Like it's eggs minus the broccoli, but it's fine. At least I'm getting one of the ingredients that I need to eat every single day. I got an omelet that was big enough to feed like 4. I mean, it was ridiculous. Not only did I get a giant omelet, but I got, and I kid you not, like a kilogram of tater tots. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of a tater tot, and these were particularly good tater tots. Although, interestingly enough, I've noticed something about the tater tot in America. For some reason, in America, you don't put salt on your tater tots. What's up with that? Why do you not salt the tater tots, everybody? What's going on with that? I don't understand. The tater tots were awesome, though. Like, super crunchy, really delicious. Crazy. I mean, it was like, I don't know, $28 or something for like an omelet and some tater tots. It was wild. It was wild. So, you know, I was like, listen, I don't want to like eat out anymore. You know, it's just way too expensive in San Diego. Let's just go to Target, get some food, you know, some cheap food that we can eat at home. And so we went for a mission to the Target. Lo and behold, because of all these incredible gifts that we've been given, many of us came to realize that we're going to need another suitcase. I went to San Diego with one suitcase packed to the max capacity. I learned a lot. Next time, I'm going to San Diego with an empty suitcase. Like, nothing in the suitcase. And then it's just going to get filled with gifts and clothes and stuff on the way back. But we need to get another suitcase to, like, be able to get all the stuff back to England, you know? So we went to Target, picked up a suitcase, picked up some sundries, broccoli, eggs, butter, nuts. Nuts also a very important part of my diet, by the way. Eat like a lot of nuts every day. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. You hate to see it. But anyway, so we picked up like a bunch of food and snacks and stuff, you know. I think we picked up some Haribos and some crisps and some like granola bars and, you know, stuff like that, right? Just like nibbles, you know, for throughout the day, just nibbles. But when I got to the checkout, I realized that, well, I got the suitcase, I've got all these sundries. Being a man that enjoys efficiency, I was like, well, instead of like buying plastic bags, just put the stuff in the suitcase. I mean, you know, it makes perfect sense. Might as well. The person at the checkout was very confused though, because they were like, "Do you want any bags for this?" I was like, "Nah, you know what? We'll just put it in the suitcase." That's a big suitcase too. Like, this is not a carry-on suitcase. This is like a check-in suitcase, you know? So while I was talking to him, they like recognized my voice, and they're like, "I'm sure I know your voice from somewhere." And then I asked them, "Well, do you watch Hermitcraft?" And they were like, "Hermitcraft?" They were like, "Hermitcraft? Oh my god, yes. I haven't watched in a while, but I used to watch Hermitcraft. Who are you?" And I was like, "What do you mean, who am I? How dare you?" No, I'm kidding. I don't really put my face out there that much, so it's not a surprise to me that people don't know what I look like. But anyway, I told him who I was, and he was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it." And he was like really excited to meet us, and it was really, really cool. And we were just talking while I was like packing the eggs into the suitcase, you know? And there was like a lot of fear for the eggs in the suitcase. Unwarranted fear, I might add. Because I knew what I was doing. Okay? Now I ask you thus, dear friends. If you were to put eggs in a trolley, right? Like say you go shopping and you put your eggs in like a bag, and then you push the trolley to your car, right? It's rattling around. That trolley's like rattling all the rocks and whatnot. Do the eggs break? Nay, they do not break. There is no difference between putting eggs in a trolley and putting eggs in a suitcase with wheels. All right? And I pushed that suitcase full of eggs all the way up the road because we were picking up a taxi to take us back to the house. And I knew what I was doing. I had no fear for the eggs. I knew the eggs were going to be perfectly fine. And when we got back home and we were unpacking the eggs, unpacking all the things, I mean, look. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there were no casualties, okay? A single egg lost its life in the transit from Target to the house. R.I.P. That one egg. May its soul rest in pieces, friends. You know? Like, pour a drink out for the egg. It didn't even like crack all the way. It didn't even like spill its innards, you know? It just like cracked a little bit. But anyway, the eggs made it back, and I had wonderful egg and broccoli breakfast every single day. Although I must say, the only broccoli that I could get in Target was frozen broccoli, which was no good. I was not happy with the frozen broccoli. I mean, I still ate the frozen broccoli. Not frozen, obviously. You know, microwaved the broccoli. But, you know, it wasn't as good of an egg and broccoli breakfast as it should have been. But I digress. The eggs survived. And the world should trust Rendog more. That's all I'm saying. Look, Rendog's methods may be, you know, a little bit alternative, shall we say. But for the most part, I shall only ever break one egg. And that's all I have to say about EggGate, okay? RIP one egg. False, you know, the egg survived. You know. You know. Don't listen to False, guys. False doesn't know anything, okay? She doesn't know what she's talking about. Look, Laylo says they would have done the same thing. Exactly, right? You got a suitcase, you got some eggs. Makes sense. Suitcase into egg. I mean, other way around. Eggs into suitcase, everything's going to be fine. You need to break some eggs to make an omelet. Well, more specifically, you need to break one egg to make an omelet. Yeah, I mean, you know, the trip to San Diego was... I'm not going to lie to you guys. It was spenny. You know, like today I was checking some of my, I was having a look at some of my financial situations. I was like, holy goodness, that was an expensive trip, but worth every single penny. It was amazing. The wonderful Owen has arrived. Hello, Owen. We were just talking about you, my friend. We're talking about our wonderful start to MCC Rivals, dominating the first couple games, led by the wonderful Owen, who is just a wonderful leader when it comes to things. And, Owen, I was showing the people the wonderful evening that we had at that place where we took this really cool photo. And I was talking about how wonderful it was to meet all of the vampire crew. I hadn't actually met a lot of them in person before. I hadn't met you before, which was amazing to meet you. Hadn't met Abolish, Lagundo, Shovels, Pyro. And it was just such a joy to to meet everybody. Apo, obviously, too. And everyone was so wonderful. And, you know, I can't wait for the next recording because we all know each other a little bit better now, you know? Like, we've... like, whenever you hang out with another creator in IRL, you build, like, a bit of chemistry with them, you know? And it just becomes even easier to record with them the next time. So, thanks for the raid, Owen. And thanks for the great times over in San Diego. This is, I'm going to treasure this thing forever. Awesome. Anyway, we've been talking about TwitchCon. We've been going through all the things. We just talked about EggGate. We shall not talk about the eggs again. We've said our piece about the egg situation. One egg was lost. Many eggs were eaten. And Rendog's tummy was very happy for the next few days that we were in San Diego. And we spent a wonderful time hanging out with the Hermits for a few days before we all came back again. Man, I'll tell you something, guys. That last day, when everybody's going home, it sucks. You know? Because, like, the evening before leaving day, there's that, everybody knows this is, like, the last night, you know? And then the next morning, like, there's less people in the house, you know? And then when you go to the airport, there's, like, less people in the airport, too. And, like, the group slowly lost people, you know? Like, I think Jem had to leave really early, so Jem left first, and then we had to leave Pearl at the airport because Pearl was flying later. And slowly but surely, like, the numbers diminished. And the weekend, like, slowly came to an end. Or the whole event slowly came to an end. The plane journey back was actually much easier because we flew at night. And actually managed to sleep, surprisingly. Slept for about 4 hours or so. But when I got back to Heathrow, I had to take trains to go home. And I don't know what was going on with British Rail on Sunday when I got back, but it was a complete mess. It took me like 4 hours to get home. Because the trains were just like not running. I don't know what was going on. Like, I don't know, there was signal issues. It was actually like a really horrible journey back. I'm just going to drive to the airport next time. Like, I'm going to pay the congestion charge for my 2014 diesel Volkswagen Golf. I'm going to pay whatever I have to pay. But like after a massive journey to America like that with massive jet lag kicking in, man, taking like 4 hours of trains to get home is rough. Got home and really... Oh, Beck says Euston was a nightmare on Sunday. Okay, so Beck, it wasn't just me, right? Any other peeps in England have trouble with the rail this weekend? It was crazy, right? Like, I don't know what was going on. Everything was broken. When I first moved to England, the trains were amazing. Like, absolutely, like, amazing. What's happened to British Rail? Anyway, that's a rant for another stream. But yes, anyway, I got home. I was desperate to stay up, right? We got home at like... We landed at like 10 in the morning or something. And then it took me like the whole afternoon, morning to get home. And then when I got home, I was like, okay, I need to stay up the whole day. I need to go to bed at midnight, you know, to try and reset my clock. Like, got on my couch and just like laid back, you know, just like this. And I was just like, okay, you know, I put on some YouTube or something. I was like, okay, whatever. I was watching Baylor Lord play Slay the Spire, and I was just like, okay, I'm just going to close my eyes, you know, like my eyes are like a little bit sleepy right now, you know, it's fine. I'm just going to like close my eyes, just take 2 hours later, wake up on the couch like a zombie, like just instantly passed out the moment the eyes shut. It was real bad. It was a rookie move, False. It was real bad, real bad. And I mean, since then, my sleep's been pretty wrecked. I'm trying to like get back into sleep, but like I woke up this morning at 3. Couldn't go back to sleep. Man. Anyway, not complaining. It was worth it. It was absolutely worth it. Let's talk about some more cool stuff that I got from you guys. So check this out. This giant candle of things. So, bracelets. This is but a small portion of them. Like, I could only get this many of them onto this candle. And I've only got one of these candles. Absolutely insane amount of bracelets. You guys, like, every single one of these bracelets was given to me by an individual. And they're actually kind of awesome, though. Like, there's loads of cool ones all the way around here, like Gigacorps and Ren Diggity Dogs and all sorts of things. There's even one here for Jimmy, weirdly enough. Just ended up with so many bracelets. It's pretty cool, though. I was thinking about, like, putting it on my shelf somewhere. Wait. Like, maybe, like, up here. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So thanks for all the bracelets, everybody. I mean, on the Friday, I wore them on my arm. I had them like up to here. Like my entire arm was just bracelets. In fact, I think a lot of the hermits just had these like gauntlets of bracelets like on their arms, which is pretty sweet. So yeah, that was cool. Now I want to talk about some more of my favorite stuff that I got from you guys. And this really is up there with some of my favorite stuff that you guys give me. I love it when you guys give me letters. You know, I love the letters. We talked about it a little bit earlier on. You know, letters are very personal and they're really great to receive. But so is art. And if you've been around the Rendog community for very long, you'll know I'm a huge fan of fan art. I think fan art is one of the greatest things about being a YouTuber or a streamer. Like when people make you art, it's just never gets old, never gets tired. And I love it so very much. Check it out. Here's some of my favorite arts. This is but a small sample, by the way, of the art that I was given. I want to show you some of my favorites here. Love this one. Ren Diggity Dog chilling with a cat, I think, for some reason. Just love the ears, like how it's flopping over. Love that one. This one is hand painted, like on canvas, with a very kind letter in the back. I won't read it because it's private, but how cool is that? It's like on a hard canvas. That's cool, right? So cool. Love it. Wait, I need to put these somewhere. This one is a very cool one also. It was printed out. And a great, like, mega shot of all the hermits, I think. Very, very cool. Very, very awesome. Oh, some of you guys are recognizing the art. That's so cool. That's E's art. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. This one is super cool. Look at this one. The Red King and the Hand. How cool is that? There's Martin with the Red King in the mirror. So cool. Love the like colors and the reds and the just the overall composition of this is so sweet. Love that. So cool. Here's a really nice one too of the hermits that I think this is the hermits that were at TwitchCon. Including like Jimmy. I think it's like, yeah, some of the people that were at the hermits plus some of the other people that were there, right? Hermitcraft Season 10. Nice, awesome collage of everybody. So cool. Love that, with a very nice message on the back too, so... Yeah, that's a KZ art. Yeah, so cool. Ooh, really like this one. Check this one out, guys. Beautiful, like, hand-drawn. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's gold. You see the crown? The crown's, like, got gold paint in it. And so does the chest plate and stuff. Ren the King. So cool. Love it. So good. Here's another really cool, cute print. I just like the expression, and I also like the 70s like jeans. You know, the jeans that like have the bell bottoms, the bell bottom jeans. I think that's really cool. Like that one a lot. And someone drew me a really cool rendition of the Gigatruck from Season 10. Check this thing out. Love it. Absolutely love this one. It's so cool. Makes me miss my Gigacorp base already when I see this. So big thank you for that one. Then this is like a really cool print. False was explaining how this was made, but it didn't really go into the brain. But yeah, it looks like this. I think this is like some sort of a printing technique. But I really like that. Super cool. Oh, that's Bax's art. Okay, awesome. Oh, it's a block print. Now, I want to talk about one piece of art that I find questionable. And I'm pretty sure that my good friend Martine had some sort of hand in what I'm about to show you. Avert your eyes if you are a sensitive viewer. For in this piece, I was asked to sign my butt. I don't know what exactly is going on here, but it is certainly a questionable piece of fan art. And that's all we shall say about that. Here's a really nice one, which captures like a great moment in season 10, where I went on like a redemption arc. I tried to kill Mumbo in Demise and failed. And in form of redemption, I made an awesome redstone door, which impressed him in the end. So it looks something like this. How cool is this? The redemption. Love that one. Super cool. Now this one is very cool. My goodness. This is pencil on paper. And just absolutely insane. Have a look at this. Done by the wonderful Tiger Lily, who just gifted us 20 gifted subs a little bit earlier on, but this is pencil. Fine pencil work on paper. Isn't that insane? Like, how good is that? That's amazing, right? That's so good. So good. Like the shading and the shadows and stuff, just so awesome. And then like capturing the Ren Dog vibes in the doggy's face too. Awesome. Love that one. And then this one, unfortunately, didn't survive transit very well. I'm quite sad because it's a really great one. But I managed to get it home in one piece at least. But it's this wonderful, wonderful piece here of various Hermitcraft Season 10 shenanigans. Love the little Gigacorp spaceship up here, dude. It's just cruising through the universe. Through the Gigaverse, excuse me. Absolutely amazing piece of art. Done by B. So good, right? So good. So yeah, awesome. Absolutely in love with all of the art that you guys gave me. This is just a small sample of what I got. So thank you, everybody. All of you wonderful artists out there. Thank you for all of the art. Really, really loved it. So wonderful to receive. Let's have a quick look at table real quick. Here's another bracelet that didn't make it onto the candle. This one says Red Winter, which is pretty sweet. Red Winter is coming. Nice. So, I guess that just leaves us with these wonderful pieces of gifts. Is it time to crack some packs, people? Oh my good lord, I think it is. I think it is. Before we do, though, let me take a quick moment to thank you all for those of you who came to TwitchCon to come and meet us. Thank you all for bringing such joy to all of us hermits, for being so well behaved, for being such excellent fans. You know, for having such great manners, being so kind and so generous to us all. We thank you very, very much for it. And I also want to take a quick moment to thank my chat and my regular supporters here on Twitch. Without you guys, I couldn't have gone. It was a very expensive trip. And you guys helped me get there. So, you know, without you guys and your incredible support on this channel, I would not have been able to experience any of this. So thank you very much, Rendog community, for helping me get there and experiencing something that I will treasure for the rest of my life. You guys are awesome. You really are.